The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to bring you the Livestock Transportation Emergency Response Training Series. This is Video 3, Accident Scenarios and Extrication. This series is designed to help emergency responders, firefighters, and police officers better understand livestock-related accidents and improve emergency response for the safety of the people and animals involved. Iowa's pig farmers honor and respect the people and animals in their communities. They share those core values through the We Care commitment and the 6 We Care ethical principles. These principles guide pig farmers' commitment to those core values by enabling them to create advancements beyond the barn doors that positively impact the animals, their farms, our food, the people, their communities, and the environment. Pig farmers also want to thank you for prioritizing rural America and the swine industry by taking the time to watch this video. And although the examples of livestock truck rollovers we share may seem pig-centric, keep in mind that many of these concepts apply across multiple species. It's also important to note that every livestock-related accident is unique, and it's impossible for us to cover every scenario in our examples. Approximately 1 million pigs are transported on the road each day. Iowa alone is responsible for about a third of all pork produced nationwide. If you're not involved in agriculture every day, you might not consider yourself part of this nation's food production system. But when you respond to a livestock-involved accident, you become a part of this complex system that has many downstream effects. Let's review some statistics related to livestock transportation accidents. 59% of accidents occur between midnight and 9 a.m. 27% of the accidents documented were swine. Of these, 80% involved finished and market hogs. 84% of the trailers rolled on the right-hand side. 80% were single vehicle accidents, and 85% were caused by a transporter error. Inevitably, accidents happen, so it's important for first responders to understand the parts of the truck and the nuances to livestock transportation in order to make the best decisions possible. Every livestock trailer accident, referred to most commonly as a rollover, is unique. Often, components get jumbled up and damaged in a wreck, and may not look the way they typically do. The purpose of this training video is to show you how livestock trailers look under normal circumstances and review a simulation of how things might move and change in a wreck. We will also provide information and techniques for managing the extrication process when an accident occurs. Now let's look at what happens when a trailer rolls over in an accident. There are 3 things that happen in rollovers, regardless of which direction the trailer rolls. The first is that the space available to the animals remaining in the trailer is cut in half. This causes them to pile on top of each other, which can cause additional injuries to the animals. The second thing that happens is the sides of the trailer with ventilation holes or vents, latches, lights, gates, and other equipment now effectively become the floor. All the additional obstacles on a slick surface make it harder to walk animals out of a trailer. The third thing you'll notice in rollovers is that now the gates are either latching or swinging from the new floor or the new ceiling. The added pressure may cause the gates to stop functioning. They can also become very dangerous if they are unlatched and swinging down onto the animals in the trailer. For trailers utilizing temporary decking, the decking boards will always be dislodged. These boards get tangled with the animals, creating more obstacles for removal and potentially causing additional injuries to the animals. In some cases, the dislodging of the temporary decking will cause 2 levels of animals to collapse into one. As we mentioned before, 84% of the trailers roll onto the right side, making this the most common scenario to which you may respond. In right-handed rolls, the roller door typically ends up in the air, but the doghouse ends up on the ground. This means you won't have a functioning door accessible to the animals at ground level to walk them out. You'll most likely have to take animals out through the roof or cut off the non-door side of the back of the trailer. Fortunately, the animals in the doghouse won't need a ramp because they are usually at ground level. Although left-handed rollovers are less common, they still occur on occasion, so let's take a look at what is different about them. During a left-handed rollover, the roller door typically ends up on the ground, but the doghouse will be in the air. You have the advantage of an accessible door at ground level, but you have animals with much smaller floor space up in the air. In this scenario, the internal ramp to the doghouse will likely not be functioning or accessible. Maximizing human safety is the most important step when getting to the scene of a livestock-involved accident. When you arrive on scene, ensure the driver of the semi is safe. You should always follow protocols and training related to human safety and hazard evaluation. Rely on your knowledge, training, and insight to ensure that all human lives have been attended to before moving on to animal assessment and extrication. You should never begin moving animals from the trailer until the towing and wrecking company has arrived and a coordinated extrication and recovery plan has been established. You have set up a secure holding pen or containment area, and a backup trailer to load the remaining live animals from temporary containment has arrived or is confirmed en route. Animals are extremely stressed and even more unpredictable in an accident. Anyone who begins removing animals from the trailer without a clearly communicated plan on how to hold them and without a backup trailer en route is further endangering public, responder, and animal safety. Building temporary containment for the animals, the arrival of a backup trailer, and extrication of live animals can take several hours. This is why livestock truck rollovers have some of the longest lane closures for motor vehicle accidents, and why getting the containment area set up before unloading the animals is vital. While it's not always realistic to save every animal, there are certainly measures that can be taken to maximize the number of live animals extricated. There are creative ways to assess the animals in the trailer without immediately cutting holes in the trailer. Side doors, ventilation holes, washout doors, and vents in the roof can provide viewing access to assess the situation inside the trailer. Never climb into a wrecked trailer to check or treat animals until a rescue plan has been established and the trailer has been stabilized. Depending on the time of year, some trailers will have boards or plugs covering up the ventilation holes. In a rollover, it's important to allow airflow or ventilation to the animals as soon as safely possible. Responders can do so by pulling the panels or plugs from the top side of the rolled trailer or by opening the blind-style vents on the top side. In really hot weather, the fire department may be called to spray water on the trailer and animals to help keep them cool. If you are called to assist with this, do not blast the animals directly with the fire hose through an opening. Instead, find ways to slowly sprinkle or drip the water on the animals. Once human health and safety have been addressed, a containment area has been established, and a backup trailer to transport live animals has arrived or confirmed en route, the final step is extrication. Only experienced animal handlers and veterinarians should move animals during extrication. Firefighters are the experts on scene with extrication equipment and must work in concert with the towing and wrecking company and animal handlers or veterinarians to determine where gates or doors should be cut or when and where additional holes need to be created in the trailer. Cutting of the trailer is situation dependent. There's not a set of hard and fast rules as to where to cut what in a livestock truck rollover. If the animals cannot be removed through a door and the trailer must be dismantled to remove them, this must always be done with the towing wrecking company on scene and must not jeopardize the structural integrity of the trailer. The majority of livestock trailers are constructed of aluminum, although there may be some stainless steel plates on the nose or in other areas. The roof is commonly made of fiberglass, but you may see some older trailers with an aluminum roof. A reciprocating saw works well for cutting through all parts of the trailer and will not harm the animals. Circular saws can also be effective with the proper blades. Spreaders, air chisels, and chop saws do not work well on these trailers and can be dangerous to handlers and animals. In most accidents, the roof provides the easiest access to the animals in the top deck, the doghouse, and the nose. Do not cut through the decking or the trailer floor unless they are the only accessible part of the trailer. When cutting holes for extrication, cut a hole that is big enough to only let one animal out at a time. If cutting the hole in the roof, it should be cut like a door, not a ramp. Leave all structural pieces in place whenever possible. For commercial livestock trucks, this includes the frame between the top deck and nose, where the counterbalanced gate is located, the framing at the doghouse and upper ramp, and the centerpiece on the back end of the trailer. This video was designed to familiarize responders with what happens when a livestock trailer rolls over. We also reviewed the differences between left-handed and right-handed rolls, and how that impacts an accident's emergency response. We covered some general response principles like how to assess the animals and provide ventilation and water. Lastly, we discussed important extrication information and techniques. Unfortunately, we aren't able to cover all the possible extrication techniques, nor were we able to discuss every potential accident scenario. Because livestock-involved accidents are unique, always be sure to follow the on-site incident commander as well as your local guidelines, procedures, and protocols. One final reminder, human safety is always number one, even in livestock-involved accidents. Thanks again for watching the Livestock Transportation Emergency Response Training Series. We appreciate your efforts to help improve livestock trailer rollover response. If you haven't yet watched parts 1 and 2 of the series, please consider doing so now.